The Jesus Trilogy, Book 2, Then There Were Two, Chapter 18. By the time Tuesday rolled around, the usual day for the 6-point meetings, Barabbas was getting very nervous. The boys had said to meet him at the old 6 Points meeting place, but it didn't say what time. Couldn't be his father, certainly. He had seen him in the grave and knew he was dead. Hadn't he carried him out of the sea and watched him bleed? He had been the one to pull the sword out when he knew his father was finally dead. The agony he must have gone through had haunted Barabbas every waking hour since, and very few hours in his day were not waking. He couldn't sleep, he couldn't eat, he'd lost 17 pounds, he couldn't even enjoy lovemaking. His beautiful fiancée Dorian could not understand. She thought it was her fault. Was there something she had done wrong, or was there something Barabbas didn't like about her? He reassured her all the time that it had nothing to do with her. He loved her more than ever, but she didn't believe him. Maybe he had another woman, but he kept telling her over and over that it was not the case. And she knew it was not. She was beautiful, sweet, and very intelligent. Unfortunately, their relationship and their loving suffered because of Barabbas' burning need to take revenge on his father's killer. The conversations between the two were short and to the point. Their lovemaking became mechanical. Barabbas was being consumed by this poison called revenge. He did not know what to do about it. Maybe this meeting would give him some direction, some way out from under this black cloud. But maybe it wasn't a meeting after all. Maybe it was some type of setup. As the realization of this possibility weaved through his mind, his skin ran cold and tingly. But he walked on. If it was his father's killer who set up this meeting, he had every confidence he could take and would take him out. Though 17 pounds lighter and far from football shape, he was still young and strong, and he was an expert with a knife. He patted it with his left hand. He was left-handed and still had the best arm in Judea. Scouts could not believe he would turn down a big football contract. The JFL and the RFL had bid on him, but his father's death and the 6-point plans put a damper on things. If things stabilized for him, he might consider it later. Right now, he wanted revenge. He also wanted to get married and have a son. However, he must quench his thirst for revenge first of all. As he walked down the street towards Uz's old store, he instinctively looked around for Roman patrols or any other suspicious characters that didn't fit into the landscape. It was dark. There was only a sliver of moon. The boys had not given him time, but the meeting times were always an hour after dark, so he went on. He heard some footsteps behind him. He kept his steady pace, and so did the footsteps behind him. He attempted to slow up, and it seemed the footsteps did as well. He then began to speed up, and it seemed the footsteps behind him also quickened. He was now a block from the shop. He knew this area like the back of his hand. There was a narrow corridor just ahead between two buildings. He wanted to duck into the corridor, but he needed a distraction. He felt in his right-hand pocket for a coin. Luckily, he had 1 penny left. He pulled the coin out and threw it across the street. It rang on the cobblestones, and at that instant Barabbas ducked into the narrow corridor. He then listened for footsteps. He heard none for a full minute. Then he heard them start up again slowly at first. They then stopped again. He peered into the dark corridor but could see nothing. Barabbas was hidden behind some old boxes, but could see the figure of a large man in the dim light. He also saw the unmistakable emblem of silver glaring back at him. On the badge were the letters SL, which he knew stood for Caesar's Secret Legion. Barabbas wondered what they knew about him. He would try and find out. The footsteps again resumed their steady pace and now became fainter and fainter. They finally disappeared. Barabbas remained silent for at least another 10 minutes. His body was becoming numb. The tenseness would not leave. Finally, he eased onto the street. Seeing no one, he worked his way to Uz's store.